I wish to share with you the most profound truth about happiness, a truth so simple yet so revolutionary that it will transform your entire existence once you truly grasp it. Happiness is not something to be pursued. It is not something to be found. Happiness is a state of consciousness, and consciousness is the only reality. Let me tell you why this understanding is so crucial to your life. Every single thing you experience, every emotion you feel, every circumstance you encounter originates first in your consciousness. Your mind is not merely a recorder of events, it is the creator of all that you experience. When I tell you I can do it, you can do it, we can do it, I am not speaking of mere positive thinking. I am revealing to you the very law by which the universe operates. For in consciousness, in your wonderful human imagination, there is no limitation, no boundary, no impossibility. Consider this profound truth right now. In this very moment, you are choosing your state of consciousness. You are selecting the feeling that dominates your being. And that feeling, that state of consciousness, must externalize itself in your world. For this is law. I tell you from my own experience, and from witnessing countless transformations in others, that when you truly understand that happiness is a choice of consciousness, your entire world transforms. For what you feel with conviction in consciousness must objectify itself in your world. Let me share with you what I mean when I say, I can do it. When I make this statement, I am not speaking from a place of hoping or wishing. I am speaking from a state of knowing. For in consciousness, I have already done it. In consciousness, I have already achieved it. In consciousness, I am already experiencing it. You see, the outer world is nothing more than your inner world objectified. Everything you now see and experience was first only imagined. Therefore, when you say, I can do it, you are not making a statement about future possibility. You are declaring a present reality in consciousness. Think of it this way. When you say you can do it, you are acknowledging the divine power within another. You are recognizing that they too are God in expression, temporarily wearing the mask of humanity. For there is only one consciousness, one God, one I am, expressing itself through all. And when we declare together we can do it, we are acknowledging the ultimate truth, that we are all one consciousness, one divine being, expressing itself through seemingly separate forms. In this understanding lies the secret of true happiness, true achievement, true fulfillment. Let me tell you something about happiness that few understand. Happiness is not dependent on external circumstances. It is not the result of what happens to you. Happiness is a choice you make in consciousness, and that choice shapes everything that follows. I remember a lady who came to me in deep despair. Her circumstances were dire, her future seemed bleak, and she could see no reason for happiness. I told her something that transformed her life. Your consciousness is the only reality. Choose now to enter the state of happiness, regardless of circumstances, and watch as your entire world reshapes itself to match your new state. She did this faithfully, and within weeks, her entire world transformed. Not because external circumstances changed first, but because she changed her state of consciousness first. For this is the law, the outer must conform to the inner. When you say, I can do it, you must feel the truth of it in your consciousness. Feel the confidence, feel the certainty, feel the natural knowing that comes with true ability. For feeling is the secret, and what you feel with conviction must externalize itself in your world. Consider what happens when you truly understand that happiness is not something to pursue, but a state to assume. In your imagination, which is your real being, you can in one moment shift from despair to delight, from limitation to boundless possibility. This is not fantasy. This is the law of consciousness in operation. When you declare, I can do it, you must understand that you are not speaking to some future possibility. You are claiming your present power. For in consciousness, where all creation takes place, there is no time. The future you desire exists now in your imagination, waiting to be claimed through your assumption. Let me share with you a principle that will revolutionize your understanding of happiness and achievement. Your consciousness is the only reality. Therefore, when you assume the feeling of happiness, when you live from the state of I can do it, you are creating the only place where creation can occur. Think about this. Every great achievement in human history began with someone saying, I can do it. But they didn't just say it with their lips, they felt it with their whole being. They lived from that state of consciousness until it became their reality. This is the secret that all great achievers have known. When you say you can do it to another, you are actually acknowledging the divine power within them. You are recognizing that they too are God in expression. For there is only one consciousness, one God, expressing itself through all of humanity. Your recognition of their power helps to awaken it within them. And when we join together in declaring we can do it, we are acknowledging the ultimate truth, that we are all one consciousness, temporarily wearing different masks. In this understanding lies the secret of true cooperation, true achievement, true happiness. Let me tell you something about the nature of happiness that few understand. Happiness is not a response to events. It is a choice of consciousness that determines how events will unfold. When you choose to live from the state of happiness, the entire universe must rearrange itself to match your assumption. I remember a young man who came to me frustrated with his inability to achieve his goals. He had tried everything, he said, but nothing seemed to work. I told him, stop trying to achieve and start assuming the feeling of the achievement. Live from the end. Feel the happiness of accomplishment now. He looked at me puzzled and asked, but how can I feel happy about something that hasn't happened? I replied, your outer world is merely your inner world objectified. What you establish in consciousness today must manifest in your world tomorrow. This is law. You see, when you say, I can do it, while feeling defeated, you are contradicting yourself in consciousness. But when you assume the feeling of already having done it, when you live from that state of accomplishment, you are creating in the only place where creation can occur, in consciousness. Let me share with you a secret about the phrase, you can do it. When you say this to another, you must say it from the consciousness of already seeing them successful. Feel the joy of their achievement. Feel the naturalness of their success. For in consciousness, where all things exist, you are helping to awaken their own divine power. And when we declare we can do it, we are entering into the highest form of creative activity. For in that declaration, properly felt and understood, we are acknowledging our oneness with all creation. We are recognizing that what benefits one benefits all, for we are all one consciousness. Think of happiness not as something to achieve, but as something to accept now. In your imagination, which is your real being, you can this very moment accept the feeling of happiness, regardless of circumstances. And what you accept in consciousness must manifest in your world. Let me tell you of a principle that never fails. The intensity of your feeling determines the speed of its manifestation. When you declare, I can do it, you must feel it with your whole being. Feel the confidence. Feel the certainty. Feel the natural knowing that comes with true ability. Consider this eternal truth about the power you hold within your own being. When you truly grasp that happiness is your natural state, that achievement is your divine right, you begin to operate from an entirely new level of consciousness. For consciousness is the only reality. And what you establish there must manifest in your world. Let me tell you why the statement, I can do it, holds such power when properly understood. It is not merely a positive affirmation. It is a declaration of your true nature. For you are God in expression, temporarily wearing the mask of humanity, and to God all things are possible. Think about this. Every time you say, I can't, you are denying your divine nature. You are choosing to live in a state of consciousness that must, by law, manifest limitation in your world. But when you declare, I can do it, and feel the truth of it, you are aligning with your true power. I remember a man who came to me burdened by years of failure. He had convinced himself that happiness and success were for others, not for him. I told him something that changed his life forever. The you that you think you are did not create the world. The you that you really are did create it. You see, when you say you can do it to another, you are speaking to their divine nature, not to their limited human concept of self. You are addressing the God within them, the same God that is within you, For there is only one God, one consciousness expressing itself through all. And when we join together in the understanding of we can do it, we are acknowledging the highest truth, that we are all one being, one consciousness, having multiple experiences. In this recognition lies the secret of true power, true achievement, true happiness. Let me share with you a profound truth about happiness that few understand. Happiness is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens from you. It is a state of consciousness that you choose to occupy. And once chosen with conviction, it must externalize itself in your world. Think of it this way. Every moment of your life, you are selecting a state of consciousness. Every feeling you entertain, every assumption you accept as true, is creating your future. Therefore, when you choose the state of happiness, when you live from the consciousness of I can do it, you are literally creating your tomorrow. I tell you from experience that this law is unfailing. What you feel with conviction in consciousness must objectify itself in your world. This is not theory. This is law. Just as gravity operates without your belief or disbelief, this law of consciousness operates whether you understand it or not. Consider the power that lies within the statement, you can do it. When you say this to another, truly feeling the truth of it, you are helping to awaken the God within them. You are calling forth their divine nature, their unlimited potential, their true being. And when we declare together we can do it, we are entering into the highest form of creative activity. We are acknowledging our oneness with all creation, our unity with the divine, our inseparable connection with infinite possibility. Let me tell you something about achievement that will transform your understanding forever. Achievement is not something you work towards. It is something you accept in consciousness now. For in consciousness, where all creation takes place, there is no time. The future you desire exists now, waiting to be claimed through your assumption. Think of what I am telling you now. Every moment of frustration, every moment of doubt, every moment of fear is simply a misuse of your imagination. For your imagination, your consciousness, is the very substance from which all reality springs. When you say, I can do it, you are not making a prediction, you are making a decision in consciousness. Let me share with you a principle that has transformed countless lives. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is the secret of creation. When you feel happy now, when you feel successful now, when you feel capable now, you are creating from the only place where creation is possible, in consciousness. I remember a woman who claimed that happiness always eluded her. She was constantly pursuing it, constantly seeking it in external circumstances. I told her, stop pursuing happiness and start assuming it. For happiness, like every other state, exists now in your consciousness, waiting to be claimed. You see, when you truly understand that you can do it, that others can do it, that we collectively can do it, you are operating from the highest spiritual law. For in consciousness, there is no separation. What you claim for yourself, you claim for all. And what you claim for all, you claim for yourself. Consider this. Every time you entertain a thought of limitation, every time you attend your idea of I can't, you are denying your divine nature. For the I am within you, which is God himself, knows no limitation. To this infinite being that you really are, all things are possible. Let me tell you something about the power of collective consciousness. When we declare we can do it, we are not merely expressing optimism. We are entering into a spiritual agreement. We are recognizing our oneness with all creation, our unity with the divine, our inseparable connection with infinite possibility. Think about the phrase you can do it until in a new way. When you say this to another, you are speaking to the God within them. You are acknowledging their divine nature, their unlimited potential, their true being. And in doing so, you help to awaken this realization within them. I tell you now, with absolute certainty, that happiness is not something to be pursued, but something to be assumed. It is not something to be found, but something to be expressed. For happiness, like all states of consciousness, exists now within you, waiting to be claimed. Consider how different your life would be if you truly understood that you could do anything, not from a place of human effort or striving, but from a place of divine knowing. For when you say, I can do it from this place of understanding, you are speaking with the voice of God himself. Let me share with you a secret about manifestation that few understand. The outer world is nothing more than your inner world objectified. Therefore, when you maintain the consciousness of I can do it, when you live from the state of happiness now, your entire world must reshape itself to match your assumption. Think of the power that lies within your consciousness. In it, you can traverse 1,000,000 years in a second. In it, you can experience the end before the beginning. In it, you can be, do, or have anything you desire. For consciousness is the only reality, and what you establish there must externalize itself in your world. And when you say we can do it, you are acknowledging the ultimate truth that we are all one consciousness, one divine being, expressing itself through seemingly separate forms. In this understanding lies the secret of true cooperation, true achievement, true happiness. Let me tell you what happens in consciousness when you truly accept that you can do it. In that moment of acceptance, the entire universe begins to rearrange itself to match your assumption. For consciousness is the only reality, and what you accept as true in consciousness must manifest in your world. Think about this divine principle. When you declare, I can do it, from a place of knowing, not hoping, you are exercising your divine creative power. You are operating not as a mere human being, but as the God you truly are. For there is only one God, one consciousness, expressing itself through all. I want you to grasp this fundamental truth about happiness. It is not a destination to reach, but a decision to make in consciousness. When you understand this, you will stop seeking happiness and start expressing it. For what you express in consciousness must objectify itself in your world. Consider what happens when you say you can do it to another. You are not merely offering encouragement. You are recognizing the God within them. You are speaking to their divine nature, their unlimited potential, their true being. And in that recognition, you help to awaken their own divine power. Let me share with you a principle that never fails. The intensity of your assumption determines the speed of its manifestation. When you live from the state of I can do it, when you maintain the consciousness of happiness now, you are creating with the very substance of God. I remember a man who came to me, defeated by life's circumstances. He had tried everything, he said, to find happiness and success. I told him, stop trying to find what already exists within you. Your consciousness is the only reality. Live from the end, and the end will become your reality. You see, when we join together in declaring we can do it, we are entering into the highest spiritual agreement. We are acknowledging our oneness with all creation, our unity with the divine, our inseparable connection with infinite possibility. Think of it this way. Every achievement in human history began with someone assuming the state of I can do it. They didn't achieve first and then believe. They believed first and then achieved. For this is the law of consciousness. What you accept as true in consciousness must externalize itself. Let me tell you something about the nature of possibility that few understand. In consciousness, there is no such thing as impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible. When you truly grasp this, when you live from this understanding, you enter into your divine inheritance as a creative being. Consider the power that lies within your own wonderful human imagination. In it, you can experience the end before the beginning. In it, you can be, do, or have anything you desire. For imagination is God in action, and to imagine is to create. When you say, I can do it, you must feel the truth of it in every fiber of your being. Feel the confidence, feel the certainty, feel the natural knowing that comes with true ability. For feeling is the secret, and what you feel with conviction must externalize itself in your world. And when you declare you can do it to another, you must do so from the consciousness of already seeing them successful. Feel the joy of their achievement. Feel the naturalness of their success. For in consciousness, where all things exist, you are helping to awaken their own divine power. Let me share with you the final and most crucial truth about happiness and achievement. When you feel the reality of I can do it so intensely that your whole being vibrates with its truth, you have planted a seed in the fertile soil of infinite possibility that must come to harvest. Do you know why most people fail to find happiness, fail to achieve their desires? They treat their imaginal acts as something unreal, something separate from life itself. But I tell you now, your imaginal acts are more real than the world you see around you, for they are the very substance from which all reality springs. Think of this eternal truth. Every invention, every discovery, every achievement in human history began in someone's imagination. Everything that now exists in your world was once only imagined. Therefore, what you imagine with feeling has a divine right to manifest, for this is the way of creation itself. I tell you with absolute certainty that if you will faithfully apply this law, if you will maintain the consciousness of I can do it, if you will live from the state of happiness now, your whole world must reshape itself to match your assumption. This is not hope, this is law. Remember these final words I share with you tonight. You are not some tiny being struggling against the world. You are the operant power. You are the creator of your reality. Your consciousness, properly directed, contains within it the power to reshape universes. When you declare we can do it, understand that you are speaking with the voice of the divine itself. For in consciousness, there is no separation. What you claim for yourself, you claim for all. And what you claim for all, you claim for yourself. Tonight, when you leave this place, do so with the knowledge that you are entering into the most holy of holies, your own consciousness. Feel the reality of your desires with such intensity that the physical world seems pale in comparison to what you have established in consciousness. For in consciousness properly directed, even the impossible must yield to your assumption. The whole vast world will conspire to make your assumption a reality. For this is the eternal law of consciousness. What you feel as real in consciousness must externalize itself in your world. I leave you with this final truth. The power is within you. The kingdom is within you. Your consciousness used with understanding and feeling is more powerful than 1,000 years of toil. For in consciousness you are exercising your divine right as a created being. Go forth now with this knowledge. Apply this law. Test it. Prove it in the laboratory of your own life. For I tell you with absolute authority that even the impossible will manifest when you understand and apply the power of your own wonderful human imagination. Let this be your practice from this moment forward. Live from the state of I can do it. Maintain the consciousness of happiness. Feel the reality of your desires fulfilled. For when you do this, you are doing the work you were created to do. You are consciously creating your reality. Remember, the world is yourself pushed out. Therefore, in consciousness, you are literally realigning the entire universe according to rest. There is no power outside of you that can withstand what you establish in consciousness. For consciousness is the only reality, and you are that consciousness. And now, knowing this truth, understanding this law, go forth and create the life you desire. For you hold within you the power to manifest even the impossible. This is the truth. This is the law. This is your divine inheritance. The end is where we begin. The completion is where we start. Therefore, live from the end, dwelling in the assumption that your desires are already fulfilled. For when you do this, you are operating in accordance with the highest law of creation, and nothing can prevent your assumption from becoming your reality. So I say to you, finally, take this knowledge, use it wisely, fill your consciousness with the feeling of your wishes fulfilled, and watch as the whole vast world reshapes itself to match what you have established in consciousness. For this is the way of creation, this is the law of assumption, and this is your power as a divine creative being. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have everything they desire, while others struggle their entire lives? The difference isn't luck, intelligence, or even hard work. It's something far more powerful, something I discovered that transformed my life in just 7 days. Today, I'm going to share with you the 5 habits that will revolutionize your existence. But before I do, I need you to understand something crucial. Everything you're about to hear has been tested, proven, and verified not just by me, but by thousands who have applied these principles. Let's start with habit number 1, the morning mental diet. This habit alone has the power to reshape your entire reality. Here's exactly how to do it. When you first wake up, don't move. Keep your eyes closed. For the next 15 minutes, you're going to enter what I call the creation zone. In this state, your brain waves are perfectly aligned for programming your subconscious mind. Begin by feeling your desired reality. Notice I'm not saying visualize, I'm saying feel. If you want financial abundance, feel the sensation of checking your bank account and seeing millions. Feel the texture of the leather seats in your dream car. Feel the ocean breeze on your face as you sit on the balcony of your beach house. I remember when I first started this practice, I was sleeping on a hard mattress in a cramped room, but every morning I would feel the sensation of waking up in my dream home. I felt the plush carpet under my feet, the warmth of the morning sun streaming through floor to ceiling windows, the peace of achieving everything I desired. Within days, my external reality began shifting to match my internal experience. This isn't coincidence, it's law. Habit number 2, the constant state. This habit is about maintaining your desired state throughout the day. Most people let their circumstances dictate their state of mind. We're going to reverse that. When you walk, walk as if you've already achieved everything you desire. When you talk, speak from the perspective of someone who has it all. When you breathe, breathe as if you're already living your dream life. This isn't pretending. It's assuming the natural state of who you really are. Think about how you'd carry yourself if you were already successful. How would your posture be? How would you interact with others? How would you respond to challenges? I practice this everywhere, at the grocery store, in meetings, while driving. Instead of letting my current circumstances affect my state, I maintained the feeling of my wish fulfilled. The results were immediate and astounding. Habit number 3, the financial feeling. This habit transformed my relationship with money overnight. Every time you interact with money, spending it, receiving it, even thinking about it, maintain the feeling of unlimited abundance. Here's the key to the financial feeling. When you pay bills, feel genuine gratitude for your ability to circulate money. When you buy something, feel the joy of endless prosperity. Even when you see expensive items, feel the natural comfort of knowing you can easily afford them. I remember standing in front of luxury stores, feeling the natural sensation of being able to buy anything I desired, not from a place of lack or wanting, but from a place of knowing it was already mine. This leads us to habit number 4, the nightly review. This habit is what I call the subconscious programming session. Before sleep, your mind enters a highly receptive state. This is when you can implant your desires directly into your subconscious. Lie in bed and replay your perfect day. Not the day you just had, but the day you want to have. Feel yourself waking up in your dream home. Experience the satisfaction of achieving your goals. Feel the joy of your ideal relationships. I would lie there feeling the sensation of closing $1 million deals, of impacting thousands of lives, of living in complete abundance. I didn't just imagine these scenes, I felt them with every fiber of my being. The 5th habit is what I call the identity shift. This is perhaps the most powerful of all. Instead of trying to change your circumstances, you change who you are at the core level. Most people try to change their lives from the outside in. They think if I get more money, a better job, or a perfect relationship, they'll finally become the person they want to be. But that's backwards. You must first become that person in your mind. Feel what it's like to be confident, successful, and fulfilled. Don't ask yourself what you need to do to become successful. Ask yourself what a successful person would do, and then naturally do those things. I remember the exact moment this clicked for me. I stopped trying to become successful and simply assumed the identity of someone who already was. My walk changed, my talk changed, my decisions changed, all naturally, all effortlessly. These 5 habits work together in perfect harmony. The morning mental diet programs your day. The constant state maintains that programming. The financial feeling transforms your relationship with abundance. The nightly review deepens the impression, and the identity shift makes it all permanent. But here's what most people don't understand. These habits aren't about changing your actions. They're about changing your state of consciousness. When your consciousness changes, your actions change automatically. Think about it. How does a wealthy person make decisions? How does a confident person handle challenges? How does a successful person view opportunities? When you assume these states of consciousness, you naturally take the actions that create these results. Let me share with you how these habits create lasting transformation. Most people try to change their lives through willpower and struggle, but that's like trying to push a boulder uphill. These habits work with the natural laws of consciousness. Consider this: every morning when you practice the mental diet, you're actually reprogramming your subconscious mind. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined with feeling. It simply accepts whatever you impress upon it. I discovered that the key is persistence. When I first started, my logical mind would argue, saying this isn't real. But I persisted in maintaining the feeling of my desired reality. Within days, my external world began rearranging itself to match my internal state. Let me show you how to deepen these habits. With the constant state, you must understand that every moment is an opportunity to reinforce your new reality. When you're standing in line at the coffee shop, feel wealthy. When you're stuck in traffic, feel successful. When you're waiting for an elevator, feel accomplished. I remember catching myself slipping back into old patterns of thought. But instead of fighting these thoughts, I would gently return to my desired state. It's like training a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger it becomes. The financial feeling requires a complete shift in how you view money. Most people feel tension, worry, or lack when dealing with money. You must train yourself to feel relaxed, confident, and abundant in all financial situations. When I began this practice, I would walk into expensive stores and feel completely at home. I would look at luxury cars and feel the natural sensation of ownership. I would read about million-dollar deals and feel completely comfortable with those numbers. The nightly review becomes more powerful when you add emotional intensity to your scenes. Don't just passively observe your desired reality. Be fully immersed in it. Feel the textures, hear the sounds, experience the emotions. I would spend hours perfecting my scenes, making them more vivid, more real, more alive. The key is to feel the naturalness of your desired state. It shouldn't feel like fantasy. It should feel like memory. The identity shift is where all these habits culminate. You're not just changing your thoughts or actions, you're changing who you are at the deepest level. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about awakening to who you truly are. Think about how master pianist plays. They don't think about each note, they express their mastery naturally. That's how these habits should feel. They should become as natural as breathing. Let me reveal something profound about these habits that most people never realize. Every single moment of your day is either reinforcing your old reality or creating your new one. There is no neutral ground. When you're practicing the morning mental diet, you're not just daydreaming, you're actually selecting which version of reality you'll experience. Think of it like tuning a radio to a specific frequency. The station you tune into determines what you'll hear. I discovered that the key to making this habit unstoppable is to focus on the feeling tone of your desire. If you want wealth, don't just imagine money. Feel the security, the freedom, the peace that comes with abundance. Make it so real that your palms tingle with the sensation. The constant state becomes even more powerful when you understand this. Your current circumstances are just shadows of past thinking. They have no power to dictate your state unless you give them that power. This was a game changer for me. When I faced challenges or setbacks, instead of reacting to them, I would immediately shift to the feeling of my desire fulfilled. If someone questioned my goals, I maintained my state. If circumstances seemed contrary to my desires, I persisted in my chosen state. Here's something critical about the financial feeling that transformed my entire relationship with money. Money is just frozen desire. When you maintain the feeling of abundance, you're actually melting that frozen energy and allowing it to flow freely in your life. I remember standing in line at the grocery store, watching others stress about prices. But I had trained myself to feel wealthy regardless of my bank balance. Every transaction became an opportunity to circulate abundance, to feel the joy of prosperity. The nightly review becomes magnetic when you add this dimension. As you're reviewing your perfect day, feel the satisfaction of already having lived it. Don't preview it, review it. This subtle shift makes all the difference. I would lie in bed feeling the profound gratitude of another successful day, even before that day had physically manifested. I felt the handshakes, heard the congratulations, experienced the joy of achievements as if they had already happened. The identity shift deepens when you realize this truth. You're not becoming someone new. You're remembering who you truly are. This isn't about change, it's about recognition. You're simply recognizing your true unlimited nature. Most people think success is about doing, but it's really about being. When you shift your identity, the doing follows naturally. I stopped trying to figure out how to become successful and simply started being successful in my mind and emotions. Here's something few understand about these habits. They work on the principle of assumption. When you assume something is true, your subconscious mind must make it so. It has no choice. It's like giving it a direct command. Let me share something revolutionary about these habits that changed everything for me. Most people think time is linear, that tomorrow comes after today. But when you master these habits, you realize time is actually simultaneous. All possibilities exist now. The morning mental diet becomes exponentially more powerful when you grasp this. You're not creating something new. You're selecting from infinite existing possibilities. Every morning, as you lie there feeling your desired reality, you're actually tuning into a version of you that already has everything you want. I discovered that consistency is crucial. Even if you don't feel like doing it, even if your logical mind argues against it, you must maintain these practices. It's like building a fire. You can't light it once and expect it to burn forever. You must tend to it. The constant state takes on new meaning when you understand this principle. Your external world is nothing but your internal world pushed up. Everything you see, every person you meet, every circumstance you encounter is simply showing you your previous state of consciousness. This was mind-blowing for me. I realized that when I maintained my desired state throughout the day, I wasn't just pretending. I was actually shifting the entire universe to match my consciousness. Every moment became an opportunity for transformation. Let me share a deeper aspect of the financial feeling that most never grasp. Money is just a symbol of exchange, but abundance is a state of being. When you maintain the feeling of abundance, you're not just attracting money, you're becoming the very essence of prosperity. I remember walking into stores and feeling completely different about prices. Instead of seeing something as expensive, I would feel genuine appreciation for its value. Instead of wondering if I could afford something, I naturally knew everything was within my means. The nightly review becomes transformative. When you add this dimension, as you're reviewing your perfect day, feel the relief of knowing it's done. Feel the satisfaction of completion. Feel the natural assumption that this is simply your way of life now. I would lie there feeling the weight of achievement, the warmth of accomplishment, the peace of knowing my desires were already fulfilled. This wasn't hope or wishful thinking. It was a knowing beyond all doubt. The identity shift deepens when you realize this truth. Every version of you already exists. The successful you, the wealthy you, the confident you, they're all present now. You're not creating these versions, you're selecting which one to experience. Think about this. When you change channels on a TV, you're not creating new programs. You're tuning into broadcasts that already exist. Similarly, when you shift your identity, you're tuning into a version of you that already exists in infinite possibility. These habits work together in perfect harmony because they all operate on the same principle, the principle of consciousness. Whatever you're conscious of, you must experience. Whatever you feel is real must become real. Let me reveal something that will fundamentally change how you understand these habits. Most people think success requires years of hard work, but I discovered that success happens in an instant. The instant you fully accept your desired state as real. Think about this when you're practicing the morning mental diet. You're not just visualizing a better future. You're actually stepping into a new dimension of yourself. Each morning becomes a portal to infinite possibilities. This is why the first 15 minutes of your day are sacred. I remember the exact moment this clicked for me. Instead of starting my day with worry and rush preparation, I would lie there in complete serenity, feeling my desired reality with such intensity that my current circumstances seemed like a distant dream. Here's a crucial aspect of the constant state that most miss. Your state of consciousness is your real environment. The physical world you see is just a shadow of past states. When you maintain your desired state throughout the day, you're actually living in your new reality becomes visible to others. Let me share something profound about maintaining your state. Every person you encounter, every situation you face, is actually an opportunity to reinforce your new reality. When someone talks about limitation, silently maintain your state of abundance. When circumstances appear challenging, intensify your feeling of success. The financial feeling becomes revolutionary when you understand this. Money doesn't flow to you. It flows through you. When you maintain the feeling of unlimited abundance, you become a channel for wealth. Every financial transaction becomes a celebration of prosperity. I would look at my bank account with the same feeling regardless of the numbers shown. I would pay bills with genuine joy, knowing that every dollar spent would return multiplied. I would treat myself to quality experiences, maintaining the natural feeling that I could afford anything I truly desired. The nightly review takes on new power when you grasp this. Your subconscious mind is most receptive in the last moments before sleep. This is when you can impress your desires most deeply. It's like programming tomorrow while you sleep. I would create scenes so vivid, so real, that my physical reality seemed like the dream. I would feel the texture of success, hear the sounds of achievement, experience the emotions of fulfillment with such intensity that my subconscious had no choice but to accept them as real. The identity shift becomes unstoppable. When you realize this, you are not your past thoughts, your current circumstances, or your future hopes. You are pure consciousness capable of assuming any state you desire. This is true power. Most people try to change their lives by changing their actions, but I discovered that when you change your identity, your actions change automatically. You don't have to force yourself to act successful. You naturally do what a successful person would do because you're operating from that state of consciousness. Here's something crucial about these habits. They're not separate practices. They're different aspects of the same truth. The truth that your consciousness is the only reality. Everything else, your body, your environment, your circumstances, is just consciousness pushed out into form. The morning mental diet becomes transformative when you realize this. In those first moments of waking, your brain operates in theta waves, the same state held by advanced meditators. This is why those 15 minutes are more powerful than hours of affirmations during the day. I remember experiencing this profound truth during these morning sessions. I wasn't just imagining success, I was actually experiencing success at a neurological level. My brain couldn't distinguish between my imagined reality and physical reality, creating new neural pathways of achievement. Here's the deeper aspect of the constant state that changed everything. Every emotion you feel throughout the day is actually a choice. When you understand this, you realize you can choose to feel successful, wealthy, and fulfilled regardless of external circumstances. Think about this, your current reality is just a shadow of past emotional states. When you maintain your desired emotional state consistently, you're actually creating your future reality. Every moment becomes a point of power, a chance to reinforce your new state of being. The financial feeling transforms when you grasp this principle. Money is just crystallized consciousness. When you maintain the feeling of abundance, you're actually altering the energy field around you. This is why opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere when you master this habit. I discovered that every financial transaction is actually an energy exchange. When I bought coffee, paid rent, or made any purchase, I maintained the feeling that I was circulating abundance, not losing money. This subtle shift created a constant flow of prosperity in my life. The nightly review becomes magical when you understand it. Your subconscious mind processes information in symbols and feelings. When you review your perfect day before sleep, you're actually feeding your subconscious mind a new blueprint for reality. I would lie there feeling the satisfaction of closed deals, the joy of achievement, the peace of financial freedom. But here's the key. I wouldn't just imagine these scenes. I would feel them with such intensity that my body responded as if they were actually happening. The identity shift reaches new depths when you realize this truth. Your identity isn't something you create. It's something you select from infinite possibilities. Just as a radio can tune into different stations, your consciousness can tune into different versions of you. This understanding transformed how I approach change. Instead of trying to become something new, I simply tuned into the version of me that already had everything I desired. The struggle disappeared, replaced by a natural assumption of my chosen state. Here's something profound about these habits. They work on the principle of resonance. Whatever state you maintain consistently becomes your dominant frequency, and the universe must respond by bringing you experiences that match that frequency. The morning mental diet becomes even more crucial. When you understand this, those first 15 minutes are actually programming the quantum field. When you feel your desired reality with intensity, you're not just affecting your mind, you're reorganizing the very fabric of reality. I discovered that during these morning sessions, maintaining pure focus is essential. Any doubt, any questioning of how create static in the quantum field. The key is to feel with such completeness that questions become irrelevant. You simply know it's done. Here's something profound about the constant state that few understand. Every moment of your day is a choice point in quantum reality. Each time you maintain your desired state despite contrary evidence, you're actually collapsing quantum possibilities into your chosen reality. Think about this. When you're in line at a store, sitting in traffic, or facing any situation that would normally trigger negative emotions, you have a quantum opportunity. By maintaining your desired state, you're actually selecting which parallel reality you'll experience next. The financial feeling becomes extraordinary when you grasp this principle. Money is just frozen time and energy. When you maintain the feeling of unlimited abundance, you're actually altering the quantum field that governs financial flow. I remember walking past expensive stores, looking at luxury items, and feeling complete ownership, not from a place of wanting, but from a place of having. This wasn't pretense, it was selecting from infinite quantum possibilities the reality where these things were already mine. The nightly review takes on cosmic significance when you understand this. During sleep, your consciousness interfaces directly with the quantum field. Your nightly scene review isn't just programming your mind, it's programming reality itself. I would lie there feeling the absolute naturalness of my desires fulfilled. I discovered that the key isn't to reach for the feeling, but to settle into it like sinking into a comfortable chair. The more natural it feels, the more quickly it manifests. The identity shift becomes reality altering when you grasp this truth. You are not a physical being trying to affect the quantum field. You are the quantum field expressing itself as a physical being. This understanding changes everything. Most people think they need to overcome their circumstances. But I discovered that circumstances are just crystallized consciousness. When you shift your identity at the quantum level, circumstances must shift to match your new frequency. Here's something revolutionary about these habits. They work because they align you with the fundamental nature of reality. Reality isn't solid. It's a responsive field of infinite possibility, constantly shaped by consciousness. Think about this. Every great achievement in history first existed as a state of consciousness in someone's mind. The Wright brothers felt the reality of flight before planes existed. Every inventor, every innovator, every achiever first lived their desire in consciousness.